So this trader asked us for a review and he said, I have hundreds of trades, but I can't find my edge. And we're gonna dig into his journal and try to see what is up here. So he's currently in a very big drawdown, a net return of minus 10,000 US dollar, 30% win rate. The average reward to risk ratio seems quite small. The average win is 200 US dollar, the average loss 150. So I think there's a lot we can find out here. Moritz, where would you like to start with this journal?
So, I mean, firstly, the comment in the trader's email strikes me as quite interesting. He says, I have hundreds of trades, but I can't find my edge. Just because you take a lot of trades doesn't mean that you will necessarily find an edge. And we will see that this trader definitely has a problem with being all over the place and over trading, which we will have to address. So, I mean, let's go into setups and take a look at that.
Yeah, and this is a very good starting point. What we see all the time is that a trader who is really in a deep losing streak often has a performance by setup chart that looks like this. And this trader has 19 setups, which is way too much. And it leads to a lot of inconsistencies, a lot of bad trading overall. As you said, the traders like that are all over the place. And that is then a very, very good starting point. So if you want to find out more about your trading and you're wondering why you are struggling, check your performance by setup. And if it looks like that, then that's a very, very good starting point. So what would you recommend for this trader here?
I would definitely say slash all of them, except for the one that makes you the most money right now, which is the SFP. I assume it's the swing failure pattern by Tom Dante. I would stick to that and see whether you can improve that, which you definitely can if you focus on that one.
Yeah, getting rid of everything else, but this one here will also really free up a lot of mental capital. It will help you just be more focused, probably just make way better trading decisions overall, spend less time on your actual trading and really get to know this pattern, when it works, how the good patterns look versus the bad patterns. So by slashing everything but this one, the trader will probably most likely see a huge improvement also in his overall feeling and approach to trading.
Yeah, we really need to take like speed and chaos out of his trading and just decelerate all of what he's doing, because we also took a look at some of his trade comments, and this trader really seems to be very emotional, highly on tilt. So we just need to take a lot of momentum out of his trading and focus on the basics.
Yeah, I think where we also can really nicely see that what you just described is the risk distribution. Typically, this is not what you see and also not what you want to see. Typically, you will see that on the right side, that's probably okay. But on the left side, you want to see that your losses, the red bars, are clustered around the center. So typically, you will just see that you have one peak of a few bars somewhere, which then means is your average position size. But here you can see there are trades on the far left, which means that he's taking extremely large losses, and the losses are always completely different. There are losses with 9%, there are losses with 6, 5%. This shows that there's not really a consistent position sizing in place here for this trader.
Yeah, I mean, taking 10% or even 5% risk per trade is already quite, even for a profitable trader, is quite risky. So if you're not making money yet, just don't even think about it. Also, don't think about dynamic position sizing. No, just stick to your risk, have it between 0 and 1%. And once you become profitable, of course, you can always go back to dynamic position sizing, but that's a long way down the road.
Yeah. And by just simplifying the position sizing, reducing the risk overall, and narrowing your focus with just one setup, you will find that you will be much more at peace in your daily mindset as a trader.
Yes.
Those big losses just gonna wreck your mindset. Those are the big first takeaways. I want to see how many trades is he taking. So he's taking around 3-4 trades per day. Probably if you then scale it back to just one setup and take a look only at the SFP, get still quite a good amount of trades. Probably there's got to be a lot of trades in here that don't really fit the criteria, but just looking at here the return, we go from minus 10,000 to suddenly 1,000. The reward to risk ratio looks much better here. A 2-to-1 ratio where the winners are twice the size. So that is that would be obviously a huge improvement. And it's gonna reflect in all other parts of the trading of this trader. When he feels better, he's suddenly above break even. He will overall make much better trading decisions and just feel better about his trading.
Then you can build momentum from there. Once you have one profitable setup, then you can always branch out. Also, I want to look at the performance by instrument. That's another point I want to make. So we can see a ton of instruments here, and while I'm aware that especially stock traders, stock day traders, and probably also a lot of crypto traders, they use filters or scanners to look for the instrument of the day or the hot ticker of the day to trade that one. You should have a really good scanning process that always gives you the best trade of the day. And when I look at this trader, he seems to be all over the place, very chaotic process or no process at all. I have a feeling that he's simply flipping randomly through cryptos, trying to find setups, which is also obviously not a great approach to your trading. So either make sure you focus on a core list of instruments, or you have a really good scanning routine in place that you can repeat every single day, because process is everything.
Yeah, and when you only have one setup, having a good process is much easier. Yeah, with however many it was, 19 setups, you can be quite certain that the process is probably not as perfect as it could be for each setup here.
Yes.
Yeah, so those are all going to have ripple effects on all other aspects of his trading as well. Let's go maybe to the trade comments. Again, he has a lot of things here that he's tracking. One idea would be to really narrow it down and really focus on what is going on here. At the core, what you want to track is where you follow your rules. He has that. That's good. And broke your rules would be the other one. So you can distinguish between trades following and breaking your rules. You can maybe be a little bit more, or go a little bit more into the nitty gritty, where you say it's an early entry, it's a late entry, or this is a trade where I completely broke my rules. So you have a little bit of more nuanced on your on finding out what's the problem here for this trader. But those are a little bit too many, because then it's very hard to distinguish between what is a one of those versus one of those. Obviously, sometimes it might not be as clear, and then the data is also not clean.
Yeah, and for example, the category swing idea on the very left, that more belongs into the custom stats, for example. That's not really a category that is good or bad, or it's just proper journaling makes a big difference as well.
Yeah, true. Also, like tight SL might not even be necessary here. Second attempt is also much better. Journal somewhere else. So this can also be optimized here significantly. A few tips on what he could improve elsewhere. He's not using the trade management, which is not really hard to unlock in Edgewonk. There's a new video on YouTube where this is explained. So under advanced trade data, which level did the price reach first? And then you either take profit or stop loss. I will link the video to explain this feature here underneath this review video. And this will then unlock the trade management. It could be quite interesting to see for the trader if he is actively managing trades, which a lot of traders are, especially a lot of struggling traders. So getting in and out of trades, moving stops around, getting an idea of how this is working for the trader would also be quite interesting. Another thing that we stumbled upon is the performance by time. So we don't know if this trader is using pending orders or limit orders, but if he pending or actively manually entering his trades. But if the trader is not using limit orders and he's executing all of the trades in real time, this could indicate that he is just spending way too much time in front of his charts and he's too locked in, maybe just hunting signals, as you said, and just getting into random trades. So every now and then, disconnecting and having a very clear idea of when your setups perform best and when you're not trading could also help this trader.
Absolutely, yeah.
Another tip for this trader, we looked into the chart book. He has one screenshot per trade. Something that will help you later down the road is having at least two screenshots, one from the entry and one from the exit. That is going to pay off big time later when you go into your more advanced analysis in Edgewonk. So you can start that right away, and then this will help you later.
I would also make the suggestion to add some annotations to the charts, maybe some levels you're drawing, your thinking process, anything that makes it easier for you later to review your trades, because now you only focus on the swing failure pattern. If you follow our advice, then I would annotate every single trade that you take, why you took it, and maybe draw some lines on your chart because you're looking at a swing failure. So which swing were you looking at? All of that will help later to find better trades, improve, and just become a better trader.
This is also something that he could track in the custom stats, which he's not using at all at the moment. So he could track different kinds of levels, a higher time frame level, a lower time frame level, how the swing failed. Those could also be quite interesting statistics. And if you're only doing one setup, that's very doable and doesn't take as much time. I think in general, this is really what will help the trader make huge progress. Performance-wise, I'm sure he will see some benefit because the swing failure is making most of his money, but all of those ripple effects from the other things that we talked about are going to contribute positively to his overall trading.
You just really need to take the speed out of your trading, establish a good process, and you have a profitable setup, which is more than most traders have. You just need to focus on that one, improve it, keep building your momentum then with that setup, and then you can branch out into other setups if you even still feel the need to do so, because as Linda Rushke said, you only need one pattern to make a really good living in the markets. So, keep things simple for yourself.
Yep. And that's a good place to stop this. So thank you, Moritz, again. And I hope this trader has some positive takeaways from this video.